Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. A warm and muggy day here in the city of Fitchburg. A rinse and repeat day. That's what the National Weather Service called it today. On Milwaukee Sullivan. But hey, maybe chances of rain can't be ruled out for the day and in the evening. And sounds like the chances of rain are going to increase as we go through the rest of the work week. So if you're planning some outdoor activities this week, be on the lookout for that. We got a busy show coming up for you today. We'll get you the latest headlines here in just a minute. Plus, we're going to be taking a look back at a couple of great stories we worked last month for you. First, since it is warm out, you're thinking about exercising and stuff. Well, let's talk a little bit about workout, diets, and sport drinks with our friend Andrew Miller from Hy-Vee. We'll have replay that one for you. Plus, we'll check in with Fitrona EMS on the NeoMate belt system. If you didn't see this from last month, we'll break it down for you here. Coming up, buckle up, right? Andrew, come on. Tell me it. Buckle up. Here we go. All right. Let's go. Want to make a difference? Volunteer at the Fitchburg Senior Center. Yeah, we got open positions. Kitchen staff, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. These folks are amazing, the ones that volunteer and help out. We want you to help out Tuesdays and Fridays is when the Fitchburg Senior Center is looking for your help. And you'll be help getting ready those meals and everything else. No cooking, actually. You're just getting everything prepped as it all comes together. Contact my friend Mandy Miller down at the Senior Center. She'll get you hooked up with a great volunteer opportunity. All right, Mayor's proposed 2022-2031 capital improvement plan is now out. This was released yesterday. You can check out the CIP on the website at fitchburgwi.gov. Starting on Monday, next Monday, June 14th, department heads will be presenting at the Finance Committee starting at 6 p.m. So if you want to learn more about what each department is actually doing in that plan, and you can see it visually, but they will go and break down the highlights of the CIP plan here, and the process will continue from there. All right, it is out there, and I know we've run this story a few times, but it's so important, and we're talking about checking that back seat for children. 24 children died from heat stroke in vehicles last year. Outside of crashes, heat stroke is the #1 vehicle-related killer of children in the United States. What's most tragic is those deaths could have been prevented. As temperatures do heat up here in Wisconsin, please consider or these reminders, never leave a child in a vehicle unattended. Make it a habit to look in the back seat every time you exit your car, and always lock the car and put the keys out of reach. Something that I know Andrew and I do, we put our bags in the back of our cars, like in the back seat. That way we got to grab them. So you go in and, grab them and go. So just one way to do it, but definitely look before you lock it there and keep your children and pets safe too. We don't want anybody left in the car here, especially during these high temperatures, but never. Just don't do it. All right, preliminary data shows that Wisconsin work zone crashes in the month of May. Well, they were up. Yeah, here we go. June's 5-year statewide average is 324, or about 11 per day. Let's do better. We all have the opportunity to make a positive impact every time we get behind the wheel. Eliminate distractions, mind your speed, plan ahead, always watch for workers, and every driver can make a difference. That data, by the way, in May was 230 crashes, which is a lot of crashes. So we got to do better, right? Let's do better, and we want those workers to go home to the families just as much as you do. So please take it safe in the construction zone in Fitchburg. We've been with road construction for sure. So definitely take the time when you enter those construction zones. All right, turning our attention to deer activity. Typically, this increases during May and June. You always think deer crashes in the fall. Well, that's true. But this time of year also does pose a threat here. Deer activity typically increases in May and June as female searches for a place to give birth, and young deer separate from their mothers. If a collision with a deer is unavoidable, remember these tips: brake firmly and stay in your lane. Avoid sudden lane change, which can result in you losing your car, loss control of your vehicle. Motorcyclists, slow down, brake firmly, and swerve if necessary. If you hit a deer, here's how to report the carcass for removal. If it or report it. I'm sorry. You want to report it. If it's along the shoulder, note the location, contact the sheriff's office or a non-emergency number. If it's an active traveled area, call 911 because it is a hazard and you want to get it out of the roadway. All right, finally, if you're looking for something for Father's Day or just something special, with a little Wisconsin flavor, well, I've got the perfect story for you here. Take a look. Something special from Wisconsin releases a new line of what they're calling boxes of fun. Andrew, I'm thinking this has got your name written all over it, buddy. Yeah, these boxes are full of quality made goodies and add some joy to you the summer. So all the father figures in your, I mean, just, you know, you could give this to really anybody that you want to. But these boxes are full of unique gifts. If you're, again, planning for the Father's Day, whatever the case may be, sign up for it. They mix and match these things. You name it, potato chips, pretzels, pop, cherry, the whole works. And it's right out of Wisconsin-made products, which can't be any better than that. All right, we'll take a quick break. Coming up next, we open up our digest. We're going to be talking about sports drinks, exercising, so much more. Break it down with Andrew Miller, Hy-Vee, our dietitian, next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
Yeah, I know, but just look at that. It's so sad. It's good.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Hy-Vee right here in the Madison area. It's our I say it's our dietitian every time, like we own her, but we don't. She helps us out voluntarily. Andrea Miller, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming back, and we got a great segment to talk about today as we take a look at being fit, physical fitness, sports, athletes. You're going to want to pay attention on this one, and people like me, we also want to pay attention because we're curious. Physical fitness and nutrition. Some of the diets you hear from people who are a part of these workout things, it's just crazy. And I guess when you first are looking at this is how much exercise do you really need to burn off the foods or really make this work for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. We hear about that a lot in terms of food and exercise kind of getting intermingled together. And I guess my first recommendation would be to keep them included for our overall health, but not to blur the lines too much. So if you've ever heard that term, you can't outrun a poor diet, that's kind of
Guilty.
Your answer. That's kind of your answer here, So if you're kind of sitting back and, I've heard people say, well, I run so I could eat whatever I want, or I work out so I can eat, that kind of thing. That's kind of stretching the use a little bit of food and exercise and kind of intertwining them in kind of a negative way, right? So, the truth of the matter is we need to eat every single day, and it's great to exercise for our health. So how can we look at that as making food work for us, rather than thinking, oh gosh, if I eat this, how much do I have to work out to burn it off? Or I kind of talk to people about, it's easier to not eat a donut than it is to try to burn off a donut. And the message here isn't don't eat donuts because they can fit. It's just fit it into your normal eating day and don't feel like you have to work something off after you eat it.
Yeah, that's a really good tip there, and something I know you've told me before. So I take it to heart here. But I asked this question to my doctor recently, and if it's to lose weight versus eating, how do I choose? Do I, for what I'm eating, do I worry about more on the eating side, or do I worry more about, well, I just got to work this off? So and my question, which one comes first? But
sure.
I know what you're going to say.
So as far as, it's completely possible. And actually, I'm not going to use the word easier because that would make it seem like it was easy. It still takes intention, it still takes work, but it's more manageable to look at overall weight control by modifying your eating habits than, again, it is to try to burn it off. And I have this a lot with clients in the past who, work on their eating habits when they're kind of laid up from an injury, for instance, and they're shocked. They're like, I've lost more weight and I can't even walk because I broke my ankle, but I've been paying attention to what I've been eating and how much I need versus just eating whatever. And I've actually lost weight. So it's really kind of, again, their cumulative effect together benefits our health, but we should really separate them in the sense of we exercise to exercise, we eat to eat.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another area that I think goes hand in hand here with the exercising and working out is the crazy diets. And we hear about the carbohydrates and protein, like gotta eat those proteins when you're done working out, or the low carbs, high protein. All of it wishy-washy, but how do you look at that when you're doing all of this?
Yeah, there's a lot out there. If you can really keep focused on balance, that is going to be the key. And so when we start doing high of one nutrient or low in another, the other two are going to go off balance because you take in 100% each day, right? So if you can think more of balancing your nutrients, when we're getting into more fitness level, sports nutrition, that kind of thing, there are some kind of key recommendations in terms of what nutrients to have before, what nutrients to have right after, even what to consume in between. And a lot of that has to do with using energy, using carbohydrates properly, linked to performance, storing carbohydrates in the muscle for the next time you use them. And honestly, a lot of the recommendations have a lot to do with digestion. So when we get the energy, so we're not consuming foods that are trying to digest when we're trying to work out. So there's a lot of different factors that come into play the more intense your exercise or your training gets.
And looking at that too, Andrea, I hear a lot of people of going to a supplement store or they're going to go to the store and they're going to pick up these protein drinks or these I don't know, powders, pills, whatever. Do you exchange that for food, or do why do people choose these routes to up that protein or to whatever they're using for those supplements? Is it really worth it?
Sure, that's a great question. Whatever the reasoning may be, it's good to remember that supplements are just that. So supplements should supplement regular food in our diet. So for whatever the reason is, that person can't consume adequate amount of nutrition in the amounts that they need for what they're doing, then they would, focus on getting in their real food, their meals, their snacks, however the case might be, and then supplement on top of that to get them to where they need to be. Unfortunately, sometimes supplements are used in place of, so they're replacing meals, they're replacing snacks, again, for whatever reason. And so I think a good thing is to remember, using supplements the right way, using them to actually enhance regular whole foods, and use them only when you need them. Don't feel like a magical pill or powder or shake is going to get you to the next level when you could do that by drinking a glass of milk. So it doesn't always have to be so complicated and so expensive for that matter. It's a matter of really taking a look at your current situation. And I help people with this all the time. Take a look at your current situation, what's there, what's missing, what could be adjusted, and then modify and give that a try, see how that works, and then readjust after that. So yeah, I think that's a big piece in kind of putting perspective to the whole supplemental piece.
Yeah, I like that. But the perspective of looking at that, it's by person. It's not an overall general thing to understand.
Right.
Sticking in the kind of the drink world, we and something really curious. This is where I become fascinated as well. Is sport drinks. So we hear about the Gatorades. We hear about these drinks. Why are they really working? Are they really beneficial to everything that's going on here as the fitness person is looking at hydrating?
Sure. So the whole basis of sports drinks in general is basically to replenish what you just excreted or what you just let go. So if you expend a lot of energy, you're going to need carbohydrates to replenish that energy, right? If you sweat, you're going to need electrolytes to replenish what you just sweat out. So you kind of rebalance things. So interestingly enough, you can get those nutrients through food. So they've just become kind of a quick and easy way to get the key things: carbohydrates, potassium, sodium, interestingly. So, I've had people in the past who just take some salt water after a workout and eat a banana. It's kind of essentially accomplishing all of that, but because they don't want to buy or drink a sports drink. So it's a matter of what are you trying to accomplish? And in that case, it's what you just expended, you're trying to replenish to put your body back in balance. So with that, sports drinks don't do a whole lot of good if you're just kind of hanging out watching TV. They're not going to, build muscle. They're not going to do these things that we, imagine that they could do. It's really just a simple way to get those specific nutrients in very easily in a pre-made drink.
Another drink and one that we've talked about, and it just throws me off because I would never imagine turning to this drink after a workout, but is milk, chocolate milk, a drink of choice when you're choosing to rehydrate?
It can be a great option for some people, especially if they tolerate milk well. That's kind of the first key there. But if you look at the makeup or the anatomy of milk, it has carbohydrate, it has a decent amount of protein for recovery, it has some sodium, and it has potassium for the electrolytes, in addition to other nutrients. So it does kind of have everything all in one package. Economically, you get a lot for what you pay for. And what I mean by that is you get a lot of nutrition for what you're paying for. It's, readily available, easily accessible. The whole concept behind the chocolate milk piece of it, again, is that additional added sugar that the premise is you've just you expended all your energy and all of your muscle stores. And so you're taking that opportunity to replenish and get that back in shortly after a workout, an event, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to catch me dead ever drinking chocolate milk after any workout or range of motion, but hey, whatever suits you, go for it. Andrea, I wish we had more time. A lot of great information. If people want to learn more, questions, whatever, where can people find you?
Yeah, so we have the link to go directly to my webpage on hiv.com. And customers can reach out to me by email, phone, and virtually through our new secure platform.
Perfect. Andrea, thank you so much. Great information, and get out there and work out, and diet right too, I guess, right? It all comes together at some point.
Both.
So, all right, Andrea, thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great.
All right, Andrea Miller, Hy-Vee here, serving all of Madison locations here. So, if you got any questions, you'll find her somewhere out there, and certainly just send her an email. She's great at responding. I've asked her a couple of questions myself. She does a really good job. So, you can check in with her, answer all those questions. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready?
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in the segment. Today we're talking about the Fitchburg EMS's I want to always say it right, the Neomate belt system. If you didn't see the story from last month, we want to make sure you buckle up. Take a peek.
So with Children's Health Alliance of Wisconsin, we discovered that we needed a more efficient and effective way to transport infants from the weight of 5 pounds up to 14 pounds, essentially the itty bitty babies that we would typically transport in their own car seats. So to do that, we got the Neomate, which is essentially a car seat that straps to the cot that allows us to position the infant as needed, as well as care for them with their airway, do CPR, provide medication, start IVs, and just general monitoring. Car seats are the safest for personal vehicles, not necessarily the safest for an ambulance. To fulfill the need for us to get the Neomates, we applied for a grant through Quick Trip, and we were given that grant through the Quick Trip Cares Foundation, so we can now safely transport our little Quick Trippers. We also were given a grant donation from a local family whom we'd cared for their child, and they gave us a sizable donation for us to use as we saw appropriate, so why not use it for pediatric product? So this is our Neomate. It is our brand new device. Essentially a portable car seat. It also is a space saver because it folds up like this. By unbuckling it, it has everything we need inside, as well as a head cradle. So we would just unbuckle it, open up all the straps as such, and it attaches to our cot. And it's more secure than transporting the patient in their own car seat because we are able to make it snug, and it is built for this. Essentially built for this. So we do that. And then our other straps secure to a bar underneath the mattress. And with practice, this can be done, fairly quickly and efficiently. So it buckles underneath where the mattress goes instead of to the arms of the cot itself. So from here, we can adjust the seat as needed, up, down. We can do it down if we have to do CPR. We can have it all the way up for comfort. We have everything you would have in a regular car seat, except this one folds up. We have a headrest, we have buckles, and we have groin straps. So we would unfold and unbuckle all of these straps. And my little monkey baby here sits in like this. We have a nice head cradle for the little bitty babies. And we basically strap them in just like a car seat. As with a regular car seat, you want your chest buckle at the sternum at the level of the armpit. Nice and tight, not loose. And the groin straps the same way. Nice and tight, not loose. We can tighten as needed to make sure baby is secure. So now we have baby in the portable car seat. We have the head cradle, chest strap, groin strap, and essentially baby isn't going anywhere in the event of a motor vehicle accident in the ambulance. We can manage baby's airway. We can still do CPR if we had to by taking this buckle off. We can still have access to arms, legs, things like that for taking blood pressures, monitoring pulse oximeter, as well as starting IVs if we need to. And in the event that something were to happen in the ambulance, we would have a crash situation, this would be safest for baby versus being in a car seat because they are secured to the cot with a device made to do so. So that's our Neomate. Ages as appropriate, weight 5 pounds up to 14. So we could essentially transport a brand new newborn baby up to a baby probably 8 months old in this Neomate. For babies and children who are greater than 14 pounds, we also have what's called a Pedimate. And this isn't new to the service. We've had this for quite some time. It's just another device, a portable car seat, to do what this does with bigger children. So, deploys the same way. It unrolls. This takes children and infants from sized 15 pounds up to 40 pounds. So it deploy the same way to the head of the cot. Secure like that. With these buckles securing to where the mattress would go on the side of the cot. And it is just as secure as the Neomate. It's just bigger. So from here, we would unbuckle our buckles, and it's the exact same, made by the same company, Furno and Furno. We would take our, now we'll say 15-pound baby, out of our Neomate and place that baby, too large for the Neomate, saying he weighs 15 pounds. We would take him and put him into the PD mate. And the deployment is the same as the Neomate. It does not have a head cradle because infants who weigh more than 14 pounds typically are able to support their own head and neck. In the instance that they're not able to, we are still able to make a head cradle with a blanket or a towel roll. You want the sternum clip at the sternum, at the level of the armpit, to ensure the most safe attachment to baby. And these are also the groin straps. You would want them pulled nice and tight as well. You don't want to be able to pinch any of this. And again, the child is secured to the cot with a device made for transporting pediatric patients in an ambulance. We still have access to patient's airway, chest for CPR procedures if we needed to, as well as limbs for vital signs, IV things, hand holding. So now that we have two devices to safely transport pediatric patients, we have the Neomate and the PediMate, transporting patients from 5 pounds up to 40 pounds, we have the safest, most efficient way to transport those patients. Traditionally, we would have used car seats because we knew the patient's car seat was fit for them, and it was the easiest to use. However, we now have these that are space-saving, rapid deployed, and they're made to do so on the cot. That is what they're there for. So we now have those thanks to Quick Trip and the family donation that we got.
All right, there you have it. We'll check in with Fitchburg EMS a little bit later this month. Take a quick break, wrap up the show next. You're watching TF.
I expect it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too,
right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out, and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find purpose.
We are not alone. Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, wrapping up the show for the day. Want to thank Andrea Miller. She'll be back later this month, and we'll also check in with Jeff Doslik and Fitchburg EMS crew later this month as well as we work through these hot months here in June. As we do wrap up, remember to stay connected with Fact TV. We've got you covered on all fronts: social media, online, that over-the-top system like Apple TV and Roku, now on on Amazon Fire TV as well. You can check out the app there. All you got to do is download the Screenweave app. I got a new graphic coming, I promise. I made it yesterday. I got to show Andrew, but we'll get to that when that happens. Have a great day, everybody.